Good morning, everyone. This is Aruna Rana here, your social science teacher from Cambridge International School, Dasua. I hope you all are fine and safe at your home, following all the precautions and the guidelines given by the government. Dear children, we all should thank Cambridge International School, Dasua, which has taken this innovative initiative to stay connected with you people with the help of e-learning during this lockdown also. I hope it's a boon to you all. Before moving forward, I just want to give you some instructions related to your work which you people are doing at your home. So dear children, my first instruction is always do the reading of the chapter. Because the reading of the chapter is very important, it will always help you to go through the all content and all the topics covered in the chapter. Second thing, try to do the worksheet. Read the worksheet properly, whatever the questions are there, whatever the MCQ and other forms of questions are there, and then try to solve it by your own. Although we are also providing you the answer key, but first of all, it's your duty to do those worksheets, those all question answers by your own. Later, you can take the help of the answer keys. Maintain the proper index. Whatever you are doing in that notebook, whatever notebook you have, either the old one or you have purchased the new one, you need to maintain the proper index. So dear children, I just want to give you only these 2-3 instructions. Now we should move forward and we should start our chapter 2 of civics, that is diversity and discrimination. But before that, we should recapitulate the chapter 1. So let's start. So dear children, we have done civics chapter 1, that is understanding diversity, and in that chapter we have discussed these all points. So one by one we will go through these. First is diversity in India. Diversity means to be different. So we people are different from each other in many ways. Then we have discussed about diversity in India, like there are 8 major religions in the world and these all are practiced in India. For example, Hinduism, Sikhism, Islam, Buddhism, etc. Then we have discussed about languages. There are more than 1600 languages in India and out of these 22 have been declared as the official languages. Then we have more than 100 dance forms. So these all things make India a diverse country. Then we have discussed that how we people are different from each other. Like we have different looks, we wear different dresses, we eat different food, we belong to different culture, we have different traditions, we celebrate different festivals, we belong to different regions. Then we have different historical and geographical factors. And regarding these historical and geographical factors, we have discussed about Ladakh and Kerala. Then we have discussed one most important feature of India, that is unity in diversity. This term was coined by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in his book Discovery of India. Then we have discussed examples also like the freedom struggle as well as the national anthem of India. It is an example of the unity in diversity. So now dear children, that's all about diversity in India. But this diversity is always not celebrated. We always feel safe and secure with the person, those who talk like us, those who eat like us, those who dresses like us. So in this chapter, chapter 2, diversity and discrimination, we are going to discuss this all thing, like why this diversity is not always appreciated. Let's do one exercise before starting the new topic. Dear children, here are some statements on people living in rural and urban areas. I hope you understand the meaning of rural and urban. Rural means the village area which is not that much developed, where there is lack of facilities, and urban areas we mostly prefer to the city area which is developed and having most of the facilities. Now you have to tick mark those that you agree with. On rural people, they have given some statements. Number 1, more than 50% of all Indians live in villages. Villagers do not care about their health, they are full of superstition. People in villages are backward and do not like to use modern agricultural technology. In peak harvesting and plantation season, families spend 12 to 14 hours working in the fields. Last, villagers are forced to migrate to cities in search of work. So these are some statements about the rural people. Now let's read some statements about the urban people. Number 1, life in the city is easy. People here are spoiled and lazy. In cities, families spend very little time with each other. Number 3, people in towns only care about money, not about people. Next is, living in a city is expensive. A large part of people's earnings is spent on rent and transport. City people cannot be trusted, they are cunning and corrupt. So, dear children, these all statements, like they are considering the villagers as dirty, ignorant, and superstitious, and then the urban people as money minded, lazy, and cunning. So, when our opinions about certain peoples are always negative, then these become prejudices that we carry about them. Again, I want to repeat this. When our opinions about certain peoples are negative and we are thinking of them as inferior, they become the prejudices which we carry about them. Let's discuss about this new term prejudice in detail. So let's know more about prejudice. First of all, let's define it. Prejudice means to judge other people negatively or to see them as inferior. When we consider that only one particular way is the best way and that is the right way of doing the things, we are not respecting the other ways. For example, if we consider that English is the best language and the other languages are not important, we are considering the other languages negatively, and we may not respect the persons, those who are using other languages than the English. Now here it's only the one basis on which we are doing the prejudice, but there can be so many other ways on which we can prejudice the other people. For example, their religious beliefs, their color of skin, then their region, their customs, the clothes they wear, and the accent they use. And so many others. Let's recapitulate. Prejudice means to judge other people negatively or to see them as inferior. When we consider that the only one way, one particular way is the right way of doing the things and the other ways they are not important, then we are prejudicing the other person. For example, if we consider that English is the best languages, then we are not considering the other languages not that much important. We are considering the other languages negatively. And we may not respect the other person, those who are using other languages than the English. This is only the one prejudice which we are doing on the basis of language. But there are many other things on whose basis we are prejudicing the people. For example, their religious beliefs, then their color of the skin, then their region, their customs, the clothes they wear, and sometimes the accent they use. And there are so many other bases also. And these prejudices are so strong that we do not even want to form friendship with other people. And sometimes we are hurting the other persons. So dear children, that's all about prejudice. Now we are going to discuss about stereotype. Dear children, we all of us are familiar with the gender differences. So if I will ask a question from you, what does it mean to be a boy or girl? So you will say we are born like this. We are born as boys or girls. So what is the new thing in that? But there are certain qualities which we always associate with the particular group or particular gender, either with the boys or with the girls. So let's start discussing about those qualities. Dear children, here I have written some statements and there are some more statements in your book also. You can do this exercise there also. Let's discuss this. They are well behaved. So with whom you will associate this statement? With the boys or the girls? I hope most of the times with the girls. Next is they don't cry. Yes, most of the time we are associating it with the boys. They are emotional. With whom we will associate it? Yes, maybe girls. Next is they are physically strong. Yes, of course, we always consider it with boys. So let's take this example. They don't cry. You might have seen, like, as babies and children, when a boy fall and get hurt, what the family members or the parents say. They will say, you are a boy, you are very brave, boys don't cry, you cannot cry. And in this way, as a child grows, so what he learns, he's learning that crying has not meant for the boys. Crying is the symbol of weakness. And boys are strong, so they should not cry. And when they grow up, at later in their life, if there is any situation, they start believing that if they will cry, it will show them that they are weak, and the other person, they will also tease them. But crying is not we cannot consider it as a symbol of weakness. We can cry, anyone can cry, any boy, any girl can cry when they feel like that, when they are in the pain or when they get hurt. So there is no harm if a boy cries or if a girl cries. But what we have done, we have just formed a particular image of the boys, that boys don't cry. So what is this? What we are doing? This image which we have formed for a particular group, that is called stereotype. What we have done, we have created a stereotype on the basis of gender. We have just put the boys in a particular image and the girls in a particular image. And we are expecting from these boys and girls, they have to be in the same way. They have to behave like that only. So dear children, here I have written the definition of how to create a stereotype. When we fix someone in a particular image, we create a stereotype, as we have done in case of gender. Like we have created an image of the boys that they don't cry. Is it clear? I hope this video will help you to understand these stereotypes in a better way. So let's watch this.
Creating stereotypes. All of us are familiar with gender differences. What does it mean to be a boy or a girl? Many of you would say, we are born as boys and girls. What is there to think about? We fit all boys and all girls into an image that society creates around us. When we fix people into one image, we create a stereotype. If we take the statement, they don't cry, you will see that this is a quality that is generally associated with boys and men. When people say that those who belong to a particular country, religion, sex, race or economic background are stingy, lazy, criminal or dumb, they are using stereotypes. Stereotypes fit large numbers of people into one pattern or type. Stereotypes affect all of us as they prevent us from doing certain things that we might otherwise be good at.
These stereotypes are very harmful because as we have discussed, like we are different from each other, we are unique, we have some special qualities. But when we try to fix a large number of people in a particular group, what we are doing, we are preventing all those people to do those things which they might be good at. For example, if we consider, like if there is a stereotype, like the boys are good at sports, and if any girl, she wants to go for sports, and the family, the teachers and the society, they what they have done, they have just framed a particular image for the boys and the girls. Now they are thinking that the sports is only for the boys. So what they will do, they will not let that girl participate in any sports activity. But do you think that will be right? If that girl has interest in sports and she want to do something in that field, and the society, her family member, we all are stopping her, that will be right? No. Even children, you might have seen there are so many girls nowadays in our country also, in world also, those who are participating in these all sports activities, even in Olympics also, and winning the gold medal for the countries. Like we have Saina Nehwal, then Sania Mirza, and then PV Sindhu, and then Jwala Gatta, and so many others. So if their parents have just believed in those stereotypes and they have not given this much freedom to their girls, they might have done this much good in the sports. Even we can take the example of that is shown in one movie Dangal also, that Geeta Phogat and Bhavita Phogat, they are also coming from such family, but their father has supported them. Even the society was not in this favor. Society was just believing in the stereotypes, but their father, he believed in those girls, and then you might have seen they have won the medals in the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games. So what they have done, these girls have broken the stereotypes. So if we are considering someone or putting someone in a particular image, what we are doing, we are just stopping these children, these all person to do something better in that particular field. There is one more example of stereotype. A common stereotype about Muslims is that they are not interested in educating girls and therefore do not send girls to school. But what's the reality? Studies have now shown that poverty amongst Muslims is an important reason. That's why the Muslim girls do not attend school or drop out from school after a few years. Therefore, poverty, not religion, is the cause of non attendance of Muslim girls in the school. So, dear children, let's recapitulate the today's topic. Today we have started civics chapter 2, that is diversity and discrimination. And in this chapter, we have discussed two main topics, that is prejudice and stereotype. Prejudice means when we try to judge someone negatively or consider them as inferior, that is known as prejudice. And in this way, we are considering only the one way is the best way and the right way of doing the things, and the other ways they are inferior and they are not that much important. Second thing we have discussed, that is stereotype. Stereotypes means when we try to fix someone into a particular image, we create a stereotype. Then we have discussed some gender stereotypes, and one more stereotype that we have discussed about the Muslim people. So dear children, that's all about today. Now I just want to give you some homework, like do the reading of the chapter, try to do the worksheet whatever is provided to you, and then in your chapter, when we will meet after one day, you people have to read one incident that is related to the life of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. In this incident, he has faced discrimination on the basis of his caste. So this is your homework. You have to read this incident, and then we are going to start our topic on that day with the same incident. At last, I just want to say, stay safe, stay home, take healthy food, help your parents in the household works, do your work properly, take care, and thank you.